Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Galdi Roy. The design for this platform is to inspire people to tap into their understanding. Oh, this is never gonna get old. Developing a new way of seeing, developing quality thinking, and a growth mindset. In all my previous videos, something that I always say is to always focus on building positive thoughts, building positive routines, and really representing healthy change. I keep track of my personal development with an aim of sharing healthy ideas. I'm gonna name this video Shift Perception because that is an idea that I want to talk about. I think the way that we perceive things we can use it for our benefit. We can use it in a way that can help us improve, that can help other people improve in their lives, and I'm gonna tell you how. So I'm gonna give 3 examples. One is a story about my cousin, and the other is an example of my car having to be fixed. Actually, 2 examples actually. And hopefully you can learn from those 2 examples. I know I did. I know my perception shifted once I realized, or once I had that realization, hence shift perception. The first example is going to be when I was playing basketball with my cousin. It happened a long time ago, so I don't really remember exactly what the story entailed, but I just remember that I was having a rough month, and I wasn't really treating my family members really right. I was just lazy. I was not being productive, and I was not being the best that I could be, and I was just not helping myself, not helping others around me. So with that being said, I was being unfair to my loved ones, my family members, some of them, and so that's what was happening. That's background of that month. But so as my cousin and I were playing basketball, and he's 6 years old, so he's playing basketball. We're both playing basketball, and my aunt's car is parked right before the basketball hoop. Now, it's like at a distance where if we shoot the ball, there's like a 50-50 chance that there's like a 80-50 chance that it will hit the car. So as me being the oldest, I told my cousin, don't shoot the ball. Like, let's go inside and let's tell her to move the car. But he wants to play basketball so bad, so he wants to at least try to make one, shot. And then I said, why would you risk that? Like, why would you try to risk throwing the ball and having that ball hit her car, or hit the back of her car, hit the glass and break the glass, and then cause more issues and cause cause her to have to pay for her car? Why would you do that? That's so unfair. And when I said it's so unfair, I don't know what realization I had. I don't know what those words triggered in me, but because I said it's so unfair, I said, whoa, like, I can't say it's so unfair. Like, that word cannot come out of my mouth, because that sounds like I'm a hypocrite for saying that's so unfair, while I'm in my life that month, like, I was having a hard time, but I was being unfair to the people I was living with, some of my family members, and not like taking responsibility of my actions, and not taking responsibilities of whatever I needed to do in order to help our situation or our circumstance. But basically, me saying like that's so unfair, and he just wanted to shoot the ball once, right? And he just wanted to make it into that hoop. And then me saying it's not unfair, that's not fair that you would risk that, but while I'm doing, while I'm like not being fair. So when I said that, I felt like a hypocrite. So it's like at that moment, it's like I didn't really have a right to say it's so unfair. You can shoot the ball. So this is the reason why I'm bringing this up, the reason why I'm saying this in this video about perception change, because my perception was changed when I said that. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. Like, I don't want to, and the thing is, I was getting so angry. Like, the fact that I told him not to shoot the ball, and because it might hit our aunt's car, and first of all, he shot it, right? Not even once, but twice. And then the first time, the first time it went in, and then didn't hit the car. The second time it went in, and it hit the car, but it didn't damage the car. And he's 6 years old. But I was getting so angry. That's why I wanted to talk about this in this video, because I was getting so angry. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you shoot the ball? I'm telling you not to. And he shot the ball, and I got so angry. I got so angry. The fact that he threw the ball and I told him not to, and he wanted to throw the ball so bad. And I was like, why would you risk damaging her car? Meanwhile, when I said it's so unfair, I was being so unfair to like my family members at home, and how I was treating them, and what I was not taking responsibility for my own actions that caused them to, that affected them, emotionally and mentally. And it's like, it was like I don't know if I'm saying this right, like a double standard kind of thing, but it's just being a hypocrite is just so like it doesn't feel good. It's like decaying, it's like destructive. So like if you're a hypocrite, you can't tell someone something that you're doing. Like, that's just, it doesn't feel right, it's not good. And when that happened to me, when I had that realization, when that perception changed, that perception shift in my mind, I was like, okay, so now I have to really, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I have to make better choices. I have to better myself. I have to change my, I have to build a new direction, I have to be a good role model to my cousin, because I feel like someone who can tell someone not to do something cannot be doing the same thing that is bad that the person is doing. Like, a leader has to be someone who leads and does something right, so other people can do something right. That's how a leader leads. That's how anybody can be a leader. So that's a little bit that's the first story that I wanted to talk about with the perception shift. Another story or another example of perception shift is so my car needed to be fixed. There was a time when my car needed to be fixed. Like, the two back rotors of the car, of the wheels, needed to get fixed. And it was just a matter of time when I needed to get it fixed. Like, it was really bad, and it could cause more damage to the car. It was like at its last life. And I didn't have the funds to fix it. So I was basically not able to travel, right? Or at least if I had to travel, it would have to be emergencies. And emergencies would probably be if the house was on fire and I needed to drive somewhere. That's the emergency. Just to maybe get you to understand what I'm saying. How come when we're willing to You know how you know when you really want to do something? Is when you are willing to risk everything. How do I know that? Well, I had a moment where, how come we would risk in going to our best friend's house, or anyone, right? We would risk to going to a friend's house to do what we want with, and risk of like driving and maybe getting stuck in the street, having an embarrassing moment, or getting stuck in the highway in the cold. But at least we go to our friend's house to do whatever we want. Then going to church, risking to go to church, risking to go to somewhere that can benefit us, like mentally, or going to church. Let's just say that anything going to church, right? I wouldn't do that. I had that moment where I was like, no, let me ask myself, like, why would I go to church? I'm not gonna risk going to church and getting stuck in the cold, or getting stuck in the highway. But I would definitely go risk getting stuck in the highway to go to my friend's house. That's not good. Like, if you ask yourself that question and you answer, yeah, I think I would risk going to my friend's house and getting stuck in the risk getting stuck in the highway, but not going to church. That's bad. So that's another shift perception that I had, that I really asked myself, like, why is that, and why do I feel like that? Why do I think like that? It's crazy. Crazy. Being human, man. Being human. Learning. I'm so tired. I have a headache. I'm so tired. Yeah, so there's like a lot of like mental shifts that are happening. And I want a healthy mental shift. So those two lessons that I talked about, those two stories that I talked about, first being the basketball story of how it's not good to be a hypocrite. Solve your issues, solve your action, so that when you speak, you're speaking with confidence, you're speaking with truth. And then the second lesson is to really ask yourself, what are my values? What is beneficial to my mind? What is beneficial to my body? And what is healthy? What is really healthy in the long term? And and that goes all into the the goals and goal setting and things like that. But what I want you to get out of this video is to not be a hypocrite. Ask yourself, why would you risk everything for something so like meaningless and so short term, and risk embarrassment or getting stuck in the highway, and risk going to church and getting better? Or like, what is stopping you from going to church? What is really stopping you from doing something that is actually good for your mind? Why is that? Why is it so hard to do something good for your mind? So that's basically it. That's basically what I want to talk about. I hope that you learn from this video to really, next time that you say something to somebody, next time that you do something to somebody, remember, take pause and remember that you're not perfect. Remember that you probably did the same thing a year ago, or to somebody, to your loved one. And remember to hold your tongue and forgive that other person, or try to go another way about doing it or saying something. Improve yourself, practice positive thoughts, develop healthy thoughts, try to develop quality thinking, and never give up. Stay positive.